excellent job just bringing everybody together and getting them on the same page. Great work.
Sophie Cunningham just lit up the Mystics, dropping buckets like it was nothing, then went face to face with a trash-talking enforcer like, "Not today, Satan." The Indiana Fever said goodbye to Nalissa Smith and brought in a dog. And Sophie, she's already proving she's that one. Someone tried to get rough with her, and Sophie didn't flinch. She clapped back with a cold, "Try me again." Fever fans, this right here. This is the Caitlin Clark bodyguard you've been waiting for. And let's be real, this wasn't just hoops. This was personal.
They are already now attacking Sophie Cunningham. Oh, they're mad. The MAGA Barbies got them angry. They're cheering on violence against this basketball player. Sophie Cunningham just got through by a rookie. And here we go.
Shot too strong there from Olsen. Cunningham pulls down, and here's that feistiness.
There you go.
She is fierce in the game. And I know it wasn't announced that Caitlin Clark wouldn't play until right before, but this is a preseason game where Clark is not available.
The Washington Mystics, honestly, they're so committed to being irrelevant, it's almost impressive. Like one of those group projects where everyone shows up late, ruins the slides, then gets mad about the bad grade. But this time, they didn't just take another L, they got completely torched by none other than Sophie "I don't play around" Cunningham. And just to make it sting a little more, she made sure Nalissa Smith, yep, the former Fever star now warming the Mystics bench, knew exactly who runs things now. Spoiler alert, it's not Nalissa, it's Sophie. It's always been Sophie.
You know, it's just kind of who I am. I want to pour into my team as much as possible, and I'm pretty in tune with my body. I can read a room pretty well, and so when I see we're lacking a little bit, you got to step up. But if we're good, you know, you're just there to encourage and give people confidence.
The Indiana Fever came into this game riding the full force of Caitlin Clark mania, like it's the last jet ski at a summer lake party, and they're not letting go. And leading the charge, none other than Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA's newest queen of the clapback. The Fever's latest addition didn't show up to play nice. She showed up to drop buckets, shut down egos, and make it loud and clear. Caitlin Clark is not out here fighting off whole defenses alone anymore, especially not while getting hit like she's trying to score a touchdown at Lambeau Field.
And that's Kiki Arafin, and I got to tell you, here we go with the smiling like you've done. I don't get it. This is the worst part of the WNBA.
If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Meanwhile, the Mystics showed up looking like they took a wrong turn into a Pilates class. They brought the energy of a soggy paper towel, soft, easy to tear apart, and totally out of their league. Their version of defense. Just stand there and hope Sophie Cunningham missed. Bad plan. Sophie doesn't miss, especially when someone tries to get physical.
Enter Sophie Cunningham. She was the lead scorer of the entire game for both teams.
Now let's talk about that moment. Yeah, you know the one. When a Mystics player, clearly majoring in petty 101, thought it was smart to take a cheap shot at Sophie, physically, on a basketball court, against Sophie Cunningham. That's like trying to snatch a steak off a wolf's plate and thinking you'll get away with all your fingers. Bold? Sure. Smart? Absolutely not. And it didn't last long, because Sophie didn't flinch. She didn't back down. She didn't even look for help. She stood there, calm, solid, and completely unbothered, like, "Girl, do you know who I am?" Then she hit her with that stare, the kind that strips paint off walls and erases self-esteem. And right there, every Fever fan watching at home yelled the same thing. That's our girl. Sophie Cunningham's not here for the drama. She's not here to be pushed around. And she's definitely not letting anybody mess with Caitlin Clark without feeling the heat.
Here we go. Need Kiki to whack her again. Guys, it's where we're at. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Right there, you can see Sophie telling her after that flagrant, "You don't mother effing do that. You don't mother effing do that."
Fever fans haven't just been asking. They've been howling for someone who's not afraid to lay the hammer down if anyone comes for their golden rookie. And now, they've got Sophie. She's got the jumper of a sniper, the toughness of a linebacker, and the energy of someone who will call you out in a Whole Foods parking lot without blinking. Meanwhile, Nalissa Smith stood on the other side, looking like a soap opera extra who didn't get the script. Remember Nalissa? She used to suit up for the Fever, until until the franchise politely showed her the exit and upgraded to someone who doesn't go MIA when the game's on the line. And what a glow up it was. Nalissa's presence now feels more like a confused mall Santa, trying her best, totally out of place, and just a little too aggressive when people ask what she's doing there.
The crazy moment that happened within this really good game, Kiki Arafin getting a flagrant foul, and then also Brittany Sykes getting a flagrant foul, all on the same player.
You could almost hear the inner thoughts running through Nalissa Smith's head. Wait, they replaced me with her? Yes, sweetie, they did. You were the one. Now, you're not. And watching your replacement, Sophie Cunningham, drop buckets, back up her teammates, and silence the haters with just one deadly glare. If that didn't sting, you might want to check your pulse. As for the Mystics, oh honey, they're not just a team, they're a full-blown warning label. Every time they hit the floor, it's like someone pressed play on a basketball simulation coded by summer interns. They've got the chemistry of wet noodles and the offensive power of a broken hairdryer. Watching them try to stop Sophie was like watching toddlers try to put out a house fire using juice boxes. And here's the best part, Sophie didn't even need to go full diva. No flexing, no yelling, no dramatic celebrations. Her game did all the talking. She hit shots with the confidence of a woman who's blocked the haters, aligned her goals, and saved every receipt. She played with fire, defended like she meant it, and turned that Mystics matchup into her own version of therapy. Except instead of talking out her emotions, she lit up the scoreboard and called it a day.
I know we're going to make shots, and offensively we have every threat out there that you possibly need, but defensively is where we need to really dial it in.
Let's take a moment, actually let's take several, for Caitlin Clark, because over the past few weeks, it's felt like open season on the rookie, like she accidentally walked into a prison yard wearing a Hello Kitty backpack and carrying How to Win Friends and Influence People. Veterans with grudges, chips on their shoulders, and something to prove have been lining up, throwing elbows, dishing out hard fouls, and shooting side eyes like it's some secret rite of passage. You'd think Caitlin marched into the league demanding everyone's locker and VIP parking, but nope, she just showed up with buckets and buzz. And apparently that was enough to set half the league on fire. Every game, she's been treated less like a rising star and more like the villain in someone else's WWE storyline. And credit to her, she's handled it like a pro. She's taken the hits, ignored the nonsense, and kept her focus. But still, the Fever needed someone to finally step in and say, actually, number, you don't get to treat our rookie like a tackling dummy in sneakers.
And I gotta say, it is so evident when Caitlin Clark is not on the court for the Indiana Fever. She is such a floor general. She is the X factor for the Indiana Fever. She like leads the way when they don't have her. I've said this before, but the Indiana Fever look like a train without a conductor.
Enter Sophie Cunningham. She didn't just step in, she stormed in like a one-woman wrecking crew with a PhD in Try Me. No fluff, no filters, no hesitation, just straight up all-in energy. So when a Mystics player decided to push Caitlin Clark's limits, and the refs somehow missed it, Sophie made it crystal clear. That's enough. And she said it in a language everyone in the arena could understand. Physical presence. No dramatic flopping, no chest pounding. Just a firm message. You're not about to treat her teammate like a chew toy and walk away smiling. And that is exactly what Fever fans have been begging for. Someone with that old school edge. Someone who doesn't just play the game, she polices it. To Sophie, hard fouls and cheap shots aren't just part of the strategy, they're disrespect. And she handles disrespect on sight. Sophie Cunningham is that player. She's the tough as nails enforcer with a sniper 3, the gritty protector who'd probably set a screen on a grizzly bear if it got her teammate open. She's not out here for hugs and handshakes, she's here for respect, revenge, and rebounds. And right now, Caitlin Clark couldn't ask for a better bodyguard.
First time in a Fever uniform, how ready were you for this moment? You know, I didn't play in the off season. I just want to get my body right. I had a couple surgeries, but you know what? This is a new era for me. This is just a fresh breath. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak.
Meanwhile, Nalissa Smith seemed like she had accidentally wandered into her own career slump. Every time the camera swung her way, you could practically hear the sad trombone playing in the background. This was supposed to be her revenge game, right? A chance to prove the Fever made a mistake, to show she's still that girl. Instead, Nalissa blended into the background so well, you might have thought she was part of the arena decor. If invisibility were a stat, Nalissa would have maxed it out. It wasn't so much a redemption arc as it was a forgotten LinkedIn update update that no one bothered to read. Meanwhile, Fever fans were living for every moment Sophie Cunningham made her presence felt, whether it was locking down on defense or firing back after a hard hit. They cheered like it was the 4th of July, and Sophie was lighting fireworks with her bare hands. It's not just about the points, it's about pride. It's about sending a message to the league. Indiana's not here to get pushed around anymore, and if you try, well, get ready to meet a 6-foot reminder that this team isn't soft.
And it's just, we're a new team, right? You have a lot of newcomers, you have a new front office, a new coaching staff, you have a new system, and so it's going to take a little bit of time. This is the first time that we actually got up and down like that. And so I'm not worried about it. I think for us, it's more on the defensive end. I think offensively, I think everyone knows that, we're a powerhouse there.
You really think you can push Caitlin Clark around and not have a Sophie Cunningham special waiting for you? Good luck with that. You think the Mystics are just going to roll in, throw hands, and walk away without any consequences? Absolutely not. This isn't the old Indiana Fever. This isn't the team that crumbles under pressure or lets their rookie get bodied into next week while everyone just watches in silence. Welcome to the era of Sophie Cunningham. And trust me, she brought her own damn gavel. The message couldn't be clearer. Don't mess with Indiana. Don't mess with Caitlin Clark. And definitely don't mess with Sophie, unless you're ready for a whole lot of smoke to come with it. Because this isn't just a team anymore. It's a sisterhood with receipts and a hit list. And at the very top of that list, the Washington Mystics and their failed attempt at intimidation.
Spicy Sophie Cunningham, we could call her, because she was out there, she was feisty, she was fiery, and all that. But what a target on our backs. Obviously, the Fever, the most hyped team, the most talked about team, and now a team that has some protection within, right? Some support within, some toughness within, which bodes well for once Caitlin Clark is back on the floor, because you're now surrounding her with the talent. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston were there before, but the toughness as well.
Next time someone thinks it's a good idea to come at Sophie Cunningham with elbows, ego, and a bloated sense of self, maybe, just maybe, they should think twice. Because Sophie, she's not just playing basketball, she's performing surgery with a ball in one hand and a smirk in the other. She doesn't just outplay you, she breaks you down publicly and spectacularly. And when you think it's over, she comes back for the encore just to make sure the lesson really sinks in. Poor Nalissa Smith, she's not even in the frame anymore. She's on the bench, nursing her wounded pride, wondering how a simple matchup turned into a full-blown masterclass. One minute, she's talking trash and flexing. The next, she's just background noise in a Sophie Cunningham highlight reel. And trust me, it's not the kind of reel that gets the good kind of attention. It's the one that ends up on sports talk shows with phrases like, "What happened here?" and "Yikes." So congratulations, Washington Mystics! You didn't just lose the game, you became cautionary content. You're the blurry image in a freeze frame while Sophie cuts through your defense like a hot knife through butter. This wasn't just a game, this was Sophie's
going up strong, things like that, right? You can get physical, defensively. You're stopping your man, you're getting in front of him, not letting them get by you, you're bumping into them, making sure they feel your presence, things like that. That is physicality that I like to see in basketball. Like, I don't necessarily want to see people body slamming each other. Body slamming each other all over the court is unnecessary. Come on, man, we don't need that. I really do enjoy these women just playing.
Was loud and clear. If you're coming for Sophie Cunningham, you better bring more than just trash talk and a little elbow grease. You better have a strategy, a backup plan, and a plan for the backup plan when that fails. As for Nalissa Smith, look, no shame in reassessing your path. Everyone has their strengths, but maybe basketball just isn't yours when you're facing off with Cunningham. Maybe coaching is your future, or pottery, or silent mountain retreats where you can escape the nightmare of Sophie's highlights haunting your dreams. Meanwhile, Sophie, she'll be out there doing what she does best, leading like a seasoned veteran, fighting like every possession is the deciding point of the championship, and winning like it's just another Tuesday. This isn't just any player hitting the court. This is a storm in a jersey, locked in, ready to dominate. Sophie isn't here for applause. She's here to own the game. She commands the court like it's her personal kingdom, with every bounce of the ball adding to her ever-growing legacy.
One more thing from the Fever's preseason win over the Washington Mystics. I've talked about the toughness and tenacity that the team has added. This was a team that got punked at times last year, that got pushed around at times last year. And you saw that in a few ways. I already talked about Sophie Cunningham and what she brought to the table and what she brought from a toughness standpoint. Just
Forget the noise, forget the haters. Sophie Cunningham has made one thing crystal clear. The court isn't just where she plays, it's her stage. And every time she steps out there, it's a headline waiting to happen. She doesn't just show up, she takes control, sets the pace, and owns every second. Sophie doesn't just elevate her game, she elevates everyone around her, especially that rookie sensation everyone's been buzzing about. She's not just watching the future unfold, she's actively shaping it right in front of our eyes. So for all the Fever fans, get ready. The Sophie era is not on its way, it's already here. She's got your back, she's got the rookies front, and the entire league is now paying attention. Her game is loud, her presence is even louder. If you're the next team on the schedule, good luck, because you're going to need it. Or better yet, maybe call your chiropractor in advance, because Sophie's got some bruises to dish out, and she's not slowing down anytime soon. Mercy? That's not in her playbook. What she brings is intensity, swagger, and a whole lot of wins.